everybody, and welcome to Sarah's Fridays with me, Sarah. I'm just being nosy, looking at the window, looking at neighbours. Yes, I can see my neighbour. Today, thank you very much for my comments on my last video, body small disorder. Really appreciate that. I don't know what to talk about today because I've got so many problems. Perhaps I'll talk about health anxiety. That'd be a good one. Right, so I've had health anxiety for I don't know how long. It just sort of like happened. Now, my health anxiety, from what I have been told, I didn't surmise this on my own, I was told by a therapist. How mine came about is when I was 11. My mum was out and I was being babysitted by my granny. Now my gran just was my world. Loved her. Absolutely, just granny, because she used to live with us, between us, my mum and her brother. My uncle, she used to live between us two after her husband had died. Anyway, this was one of the times that she was with us and I was being babysitted. She'd had a bit of a cold, chest infection thing. And she was babysitting me. And that night, she kept not being able to get to the toilet, kept weeing herself. I was like, that's a bit strange, because she's never done that before, this is new. Anyway, so I went up to bed, and before I went to bed, she kissed me, and I kissed her. And she said to me that I bet I die tonight, and I was like, oh, don't be silly. And I went to bed and I was reading the book, and I heard a cough downstairs, so I was like, oh, she's fine. And a little bit later on, I heard this knocking on my window. Now, obviously, I lived in a house, so I looked out the window. It's my mum, and she had a clothes prop, and she couldn't get in the back door. So, because what my granny used to do is she used to lock the door, take the key out, so my mum could get in. And this day she couldn't do that, so she knocked me out, and I opened the window. She goes, let me in, I can't get in. So I ran downstairs, and as I come downstairs, my mum's kitchen, in my mum's utility room, where the washing machine was, where my granny used to keep a hot water bottle, she's laying there. She died of a massive heart attack. So I found her, obviously, and let my mum in. I remember this vividly. I let my mum in, and I just said, quick, Granny's laying in the utility room on the floor. And I didn't obviously know that at that point that she was dead, but she just died instantly. And yeah, so we called the ambulance, and I'm so sorry. We called the ambulance and everything. And the worst bit is that they put her on a stretcher in a body bag, and they left her in the kitchen, and I was obviously still up, and I could see my granny laying there in a body bag. Anyway, we'll get to the point in a minute. So I think as I'm older, I'm thinking, you can just die like that. And she just died, dropped it. Okay, yeah, she was old, and she'd been really unwell, but there was no signs of her that she was gonna die. And I think that's where it stems from, is that just how easy you can just die. And so when I got sick, it got worse when I when I had or developed agoraphobia and panic attacks, obviously, because it's just, your mind's just a mess. But I'll talk about that, the agoraphobia stuff, later. But yeah, when I used to sit here and I'd go, oh God, do you know what? I've had so many illnesses, it's not even funny. I've died so many times. I'd be sitting there and I'd have the classic signs of a heart attack. I'd have a pain down my arm, pain in my chest, pain in my back, everywhere, just pain. And it would just, yeah, and I'll be Googling, what have I got today? And I would have it would say, heart attack, call 999. And I've had brain scans, I've had scans on my, I've got, I do actually have illnesses, like real genuine illnesses. I have something that's wrong with my, I don't know, down there somewhere, which causes lots of pain, but I'm too scared. See, this is the thing, when I've actually got a real problem, when I'm really genuinely ill, I won't go. Well, I went to like the initial appointments, and I was meant to have a laparoscopy, like they check, they wanted to see what's going on, but I didn't do that. I have got dodgy things going on with my cervix, which I do actually attend those appointments, because that's a, you know, you don't want to leave that. But I went to the hospital because my arm kept going numb, and I googled, and I had MS, obviously had MS. But it actually turns out that I have this illness called Chiari malformation. Now, because my head is tiny, like really small little pinhead, the part of the brain is in the spinal cord, or gets up in the spine, which causes dizziness, like loss of feeling, pins and needles, tinnitus, headaches, which would explain a lot of my symptoms. So I've got that, and there's nothing they can do about that unless you have an operation. No one's going to go in my brain. But like recently, the latest health anxiety problem was that I had an awful pain in my left leg. Now instantly I had a blood clot. I went to the doctors and he said, no, it's phlebitis or something, and I was like, whatever. So I went to the hospital the next day, A&E, and I was given anticoagulants, that's it, coagulants, that I had to inject in my stomach for a week, and then I had a scan, which they didn't find deep vein thrombosis. But no, that is not because I don't have one, it's because it's now travelling around my lungs. It's not, in my head it is. So, yeah, I mean, I get headaches all the time, and I say I've had a brain scan, they found this thing, but there's no tumour there. But in my head, I'm thinking, they've missed the tumour. And, like, but the thing is, right, I was talking about this with my father the other day when he came down. Now, he has major health anxiety. He has just had a full body scan because he thought there was something wrong. My mum has health anxiety. My uncle had health anxiety or something. My granny, bless her soul, she had some sort of health anxiety. My sister definitely has health anxiety because I had her on the phone this morning worrying that she's going to get swine flu. And I said, just have the swine flu jab. Like I did. She goes, yeah, but what if it does it? So she's got it as well. So it's a whole genetics thing, I'm sure. I mean, the thing that kicked it off obviously was finding my granny dead, and like how quickly people can just go. But it's in me. It was inevitable, really, that it was going to come out at some point. But health anxiety is a right shit. You know, I mean, I must admit, it's not as bad as the rest of my problems. It's not something But when you wake up, like I woke up on Friday just gone, when you wake up and you just feel like death, and honestly I thought I was dying. I think I'm dying. I think I'm dying, that's the problem, and they haven't found what's wrong with me. I've had blood tests, I have everything, but I'm still convinced that I am dying and that they just can't find the cause. I'm sure that there's something growing in me somewhere that makes me feel so ill all the time. I don't think there's a day go by that I don't feel something. Today I have a headache and I'm really dizzy. So I've had to take a pill for the dizziness, which hasn't really helped that much because I'm still I feel like a bit off balance. But yeah, so health anxiety is a bit poo, and so yeah, I really apologise for crying, but I still get upset, even though it's like a million years ago. It's still really hard to talk about. So yeah, that's my health anxiety story, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye! If I can find the off button.